I'm Neat,
I'm
and
Rox,
this is the
the
Bourbon
Bourbon
Barrel.
Barrel.
And today we have a special little short for you. We are retiring our tiny little beginner kit.
Oh, wait, retiring. I'm gonna take it home and do stuff with it.
Yeah, so we're retiring this one from the set, and he's going to take it home.
Oh, wait, you could call my set.
Yeah,
I got you.
and he's going to enjoy it, maybe turn it into an infinity bottle or something. Just figure it out.
I told him maybe use my sound bar because the sound bar is like a large flat thing that
Mhm.
for surround sound, not just a bass or a subwoofer. Putting it on top of it, can
Make it
you do
a
the
regular bottle.
blackish thing
Yeah,
and
there you
see
go.
if there's any
Just
musical
don't
vibrations
get
that
sued for copyrights.
make our musical vibrates?
And so right now it's just filled with water so that it keeps moist and doesn't,
Moist.
compress and not work anymore. But we did buy this brand new one, which is a 3 liter. And
You bought it. I didn't pay
yes,
for
okay,
that.
sure.
He bought it. He bought it.
And this will be our new set piece, and it's a
Danny
little bit
Warhols.
bigger. And right now, it's
Size matters.
also full of water. This one I had to basically treat, and I always put a little bourbon in when I first get it, and then I set it on fire, and it's pretty cool. Makes a cool
You
sound.
treated it like a dirty girl.
Re-char it, double char it, but I don't know. It works well, and then it also warms up the wood so that the water going in doesn't leak as badly. It's like
Okay.
those videos you can find of people like basically putting gasoline around the outside of a tire rim and then lighting it. And it goes,
Oh,
"Poof."
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
that same idea. And so this hasn't leaked at all almost since I started. And today I think we're gonna empty it out of the water and make another blend. But
What do you want to make the new blend out of? Well, before we get into
figure
tasting
that
the
out.
old blend,
We'll figure that out when we get there.
what if we just do all something, like all double oak?
It's 3 liters, man. Like it's a lot of bourbon that's gonna go in there.
Mm,
Like each one of these bottles is 750 full, and we're using like half empty bottles. This is how you clean out your cabinet.
it's true. It's true.
So anyway, to discuss, this is not a Nulu product. This is actually
A bottle.
the bottle version of what was last in here. And so I basically took a lot of my empty bottle, or not empty bottles, a lot of my open bottles, and I poured a bunch of them into this. And I left it in there for about a week, maybe a little less, like 5 days, and took it out and bottled it in this. And it actually came out really good. The
Oh, you
color's a little
did. I
bit
was going to say
darker.
it has a different. It has a good color, but it already
Hmm.
had color. We
Yeah.
didn't. You didn't have white
There
dog
was
in
no
here.
white dog in
Okay.
here. Right. This was all bourbons that had been released and in bottles. So this was like some that may have needed a little more aging. There's some Bowman Brothers, Isaac Bowman. There's some Wild Turkey 101, New Riff. There's a couple different versions of Old Forester. There is a lot of stuff.
Rabbit hole.
Yep, there was a little bit of Rabbit Hole Derringer, I think.
Wow.
Just to and some smoke wagons. There was a bunch of stuff that I had that was open that I'm not drinking regularly, and I figured, what the hell? It's not my favorite. I'll just throw it in the bottle in the here and see if it helps it. And it really helped. And I'm really sad that we will never be able to recreate this because I don't know what proportions I used of what bottles. I just threw it in like a mad scientist and went to town.
You can buy what's left of this bottle for the low price of
Not ever. But we
$9,999.69.
both tried this, and it actually was very good. And some of the rogues have had it too, and they actually really liked it. So,
I've heard there's a Bourbon Real Talk episode with Randy that he discusses how he took his Infinity bottle to a bottle tasting and it almost won first prize of everything people brought and nobody else brought an Infinity bottle.
nice.
So, and I was like, wow, that's like your shit at that point.
Hmm.
Like, pardon my language, guys. Um, yeah, very tiny little.
You should take as much as you want.
No, I know, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. He's an enabler
But
of
this was
fun.
essentially just a fun way to kind of kill off some bottles that were
Fun
lingering
enabler.
around and add a little extra pizzazz.
There's definitely a lot of nose to it.
Is there? See, I get the sweet
I
angle.
immediately got like some sort of heavy fruit thing, but like a dark heavy fruit, like a charred almost cherry apricot something. Like I don't know, that's what I got. Like
Sure.
deep heavy fruit, not a light easy fruit.
That would make sense because a lot of these things came out of charred barrels, and this is basically like a double oaking char
And
because
there's
this was a
probably not a
charred
lot
barrel.
of low proofs.
No, I mean,
Do you even own any low proofs? He
well,
sugars every time I say 80 proof. He's
well, shit, you buy me. That's 90. That's 100. This was 86. 100. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably close to like 100 proof,
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
maybe a 90 something proof. We'll give it 90 proof. There's Wild Turkey 101 in
We
there.
should do some sort of episode someday where we light something on fire, no matter how properly done something. And I'm not saying let's light. I'm saying like in the right atmosphere, in the right placing, in the right way, and everything else. So there's no worries of anybody's stuff getting in. Yeah, but we should light something on fire. We always talk about fire, like the burn and this, that.
I'll light your shirt on fire when you're not looking.
Well, all right, that's fine. You guys will see this episode, and then of course there'd be no shirt, but you're not. Well, you don't get that unless you subscribe.
No shirt, no
The shirt
shoes,
off.
but he still gets service.
He's calling this the mystery box.
This is the mystery box because I'm never going to be able to recreate it. And
True story.
this is a nice way to send off this barrel to
Yeah.
set retirement.
And if I don't, I might. I was even thinking of this. Like if I take something and do something with this, right? And if I put it on top of my soundbar and play like a few different movies and game or something with a lot of like the soundbar really has an effect to it. And then maybe the very next day fill up my bathtub and put it on top of something and just let it float around and it'll be
Aged at sea.
aged at sea and harmonically as opposed to using
I
the
feel like
word.
you got to be careful with a wooden barrel and putting it in water because it might absorb
Well,
it.
I'm not gonna put the barrel in the water as much as I put it in something that floats in the water, but let the motion of the ocean do it, sort of.
He's gonna play battleships in his bathtub.
Whatever, man. I don't know. I'm gonna do it the same way you did it, as far as like,
Cheers.
I do a lot of way back because I took just a little bitty bit because I'm trying to be smart about it.
It's good. I do enjoy it.
Wow,
The
this is
burn
good.
is it's
Almost
not
non-existent.
non-existent almost. Yeah,
It sort of is.
it's mellow. It gets a little bit of warm in the back of the throat. The flavor profile's there because there's a lot of different flavors fighting for your attention.
You're literally pitching to be a master blender. Like somebody should call in because it's very good.
No, this was
It's
a fluke.
tasty.
This was a fluke.
You only did it once. It's a
Exactly.
fluke. You have to have a bunch of crappy ones before you know that one's a fluke.
Well, to be
You're
fair,
great. This isn't a fluke.
uh, yeah, I guess. So it's either every idiot can do it, or
Calling yourself an idiot. I've mentioned it this times. You're anything but an idiot.
but no, this is actually the best. It's the only and best blend I've ever done.
I drank the original one
Yeah,
when we put the white dog in it.
that wasn't
I think we both tasted it.
that wasn't a blend. That was just us trying to take White Dog and turn it into something.
Oh yeah, because we put nothing but white
Nothing
dog
but
in
White
there.
Dog in there.
We tried to make our own
Mhm.
bourbon.
Yeah, and that
Bourbon
was
Beatrix white dog.
it was super rough, super raw. It had the right coloring after what was it, 2 weeks,
It
3 weeks?
was
It was like closer to 4 weeks, but it was so rough.
it was rough.
There is no substitute for age. I'm just gonna say it. I feel like age gives an appropriate time to mellow, but this is really like this is not bad because everything that was put in here was aged at least 2 to 4 years, if not longer.
Right.
And so because of that, adding that extra step of just like the oak barrel charred, because I recharred it before I put it in there.
Oh right.
And
What do you use to recharge? I mean, so I know it's fire, but I mean, like, do you use like a lighter or do you use like a?
I use one of those like stick lighters,
Okay.
and I use like I think it was Knob Creek quarter oak.
I'm gonna say you don't use like an aerosol can where you're
No, I coat it with a little bit of bourbon and I like roll it around so that the bourbon gets everywhere, and then I light the fumes. It goes. It's cool.
nice. But see, okay, so that's what I meant. We should show that. We should film that sometime,
We
like
can.
in the proper way to do it.
I mean, we can't do it with this set yet because I already did it,
We can do
and
it again.
I don't feel like you don't want to do
If
that
you
till.
do it another time, it would mess with the structural integrity of this
So,
grill.
well, no, the next time, like we have to. What I did with that is I did it and then I filled it with water,
Right.
so it'll get rid of all that crap that it creates because it does create like charcoal.
Right.
So to get rid of it, you add water and you empty it out and all that stuff
And what's left?
is what you want.
Right.
So once we've made something in here, we can do that process again.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Until then,
Do you have a plan of what you would like to put in here? He has a lot more. Well, I mean, I
I'm
don't
going
have a lot.
I'm going to attempt to recreate. I'm just going to take the empty stuff and some of the stuff I don't like all that well and throw it in there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And with this size barrel, I think it has to be like 3 months,
Okay. Right.
whereas this one was like 2 to 4 weeks.
3 months, and we're in New York,
Yeah.
and it's right now. It's quote unquote winter time.
But by the time we're ready to uncork this will have swollen because it will be humid.
Yeah, it will. It'll have swollen because you know why. I like it.
Hmm.
But it's tough. I have a hard time believing I wouldn't like something. Chances are I'm going to like something when it's a bunch of stuff I liked that you blend.
Hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean the truth, or isn't necessarily true because for a terrible example is like I tell people, look, you like pizza and you like ice cream. You don't like ice cream on your pizza. You know what I
I've
mean?
never tried it.
I'm just saying. You like onions, you like ice cream. You don't like putting onions on your ice cream.
Never tried it.
Well, still, onions. What I'm saying is, like, you never know. Some things can blend poorly, but still be awesome on their own. But other things can be terrible, and you blend them, and you're like, "Holy crap, that's great!"
It's true.
So it's a, and we can't. He can't recreate this, as he said. Like, there's
I
no,
don't. I just don't know what I put in there and what specific quantities to do that.
just what he said when they said the baby was his.
Like I have a rough idea. I'm just ignoring that. I have a rough idea of what bourbons are in here, but I don't
That was
have.
off the cuff. That wasn't bad for off the cuff.
I'm not completely sure of 100% of the bourbons in here as well as what ratios. So,
Well, maybe next time or this
yeah,
time we could, or you could, or we could, or whatever.
seems
As
like
far as like if I'm around when you fill it, like, but you could like write it down, like, okay, I put like a quarter ounce or something in this or whatever it is. I don't know,
I was just gonna pour.
but I don't know what the point of that would be either, because again, if nobody else can have it
Right,
anyway,
yeah.
the hell's the difference?
I'm
It's a you
not
problem.
I'm not gonna recreate these things. I feel like they're one-offs. But
I liked that because it had decent
there's definitely the sweetness there, the extra.
mouthfeel. I'm gonna
Yep.
switch. I'm gonna add both words. I'm
Okay.
gonna or both terms instead of mouthfeel or oral sensation. I'm gonna say oral feel or mouth sensation.
It does. It evaporates pretty quick.
No, but it was like it immediately kind of like was a whole thing in my mouth. I was like, "That's yummy," and it went away as far as not no weekend at Bernie's, none,
Yeah.
zero, no zero. Like the Bernie was there when I met it, and it just disappeared, like it died, and they just pretended he was alive for the rest of the show.
Hmm.
Well, I think I've seen that movie.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
So overall, it's definitely an improvement on the things that were put in there.
Oh,
So
I mean,
I really enjoyed it.
for
And
for a makeshift
yeah, for
random
just a
run of the
random
mill,
throw it in there and
yeah, it's
see what
tasty.
happens. But
So that's what's in here. So what's your plan to do with the rest of this? Are you sending this home with me, or are you going to keep this one?
I'm gonna keep that.
Okay,
I think it's delicious.
you tend to send me home. I'm the
Not
bourbon
he's
toilet. Okay, like whatever he has
he's
that
my
he doesn't
infinity
like,
bottle.
I have.
Anything that I don't like, he just takes
I
care of.
just throw stuff away. I just can't. I was so upset when I poured a little bit down the sink. I was like, oh, I guess I'm giving a gift to the sink.
Sink gifts.
Yeah, that's right. Sink gifts.
But
Hashtag sink gifts.
it's the picture of a sink doing weird sink stuff.
It is too. I just. It's gonna go worse.
Oh.
So go. Let's
I'm neat,
I'm rocked.
and this is
The
the
bourbon
Bourbon
barrel.
Barrel.